Explore your sister islands. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered. Visit cineco.ky for your quote today.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Charles Glidden.
Coming up, it's Freestyling Monday. Let's chat about what's on your mind. You're the guest this afternoon, so pick up the phone and give me a ring. Express yourself. Talk Today's next on Radio Cayman. Stay with me.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. I'll be hanging out here at until 2:30. I hope you could stay with me. You know, let's spend the afternoon together, right? Even if it's long distance, remotely. That's the new word now. Remote. Yeah, we'll hang out together in a remote kind of style. Yeah. So, did you have a good weekend? I hope you had a chance to chill out and, refresh your mind and get ready to face the world again today. If you did get a chance to chill out, well, you did better than me. It was a kind of a working weekend, one of those that I had. Yeah, couldn't get away from it. Couldn't. I had no good excuses to to get out of some weekend work. But hey, work. It's a good thing to have, right? Yeah, better than having no work at all, because that brings about all kind of complications. I already got somebody on the line here. Good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today. What's on your mind?
Good afternoon. Good.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
You?
Good. I'm in town trying to find an item and can't find it. Look, I have to call Amazon. Oh my God!
They have everything.
Then you go to these places, they are so equipped, but when you want something, you just can't find it. It is unreal. It's unreal. Until whenever I find it again, I got to buy me a few and put down.
Yeah. Cayman's one of those places like you see something that you want, you better buy it then, right?
You better buy it there because you're not coming back later or next week and say that you got to find it. Yeah. Yeah, so, Mr. Glidden, you there?
Mm-hmm, I'm here.
I called you, I know so a month ago and change in regards to these huge, I guess they're called condos, towers down there by the Holiday Inn. That area is called, oh God, what's it called again? You know what I'm talking about, right?
It's Safe Haven, kind of?
Safe Haven, yes, down there, Safe Haven. I was telling you that they had these huge towers building down there. And there, I told you that was the most ugliest building I've ever seen in the Cayman Islands being built
Is that the same one? Some of the residents that lived down there they were upset about it too.
Well, look, they've been too upset because down there is a gated area. The majority of those places down there is gated.
Mm-hmm.
So this spot where they got these, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 3 or 4 of these towers
Yeah.
built on this big old piece of property, and right now you can see everything around them. You know, the homes and the hotel, which is the Holiday Inn. You know, so it's broad open. So they couldn't fight hard enough because, to me, to a degree, it has taken away some of that beautification down there because down there is a very nice location. A lot of nice homes are being built down there.
Yeah.
And it's gated and everything, you know, and then these 3 or 4 huge towers, I think it's 3, you know, towers being built on the property, and you know, I think there must be like 6 floors. But to say all of that to say this, we the people of these islands, anything that happens in this island, especially when it comes to planning and a lot of other things, and the population, we the people is to blame, you know. Because
in many aspects, yeah.
We sit down and we invite everybody in here, and when they see it could be a gold mine for their advantage, they jump on the bandwagon, and like we don't have any say to a degree or no say period. You don't know some of these buildings are put down until you decide to take the wrong road one day, and you're like, now where in the world this come up from? Where did this come out from? You know what I mean? When did they build this?
Yeah, when did that go up?
when was it built overnight? Unbelievable. Wait a minute. What the heck is going down here? Have you crossed this the Grand Hyatt lately?
Not lately, no.
You know those stone walls they're putting up there, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now they got a huge piece of that taken down, and you know, like what happened? You know, you can see it. People are taken down.
So some of those rocks are out now.
I don't know, but they don't realize that that's a chicken wire. We call it chicken wire, but I'm quite sure it has another name. When that salt water ever hits that, it's gonna get rusty and
Corrode.
Corrode. Oh, people gonna say, "Oh, that's gonna happen until next 10, 20 years." Really? So we getting prepared for it, right? So yeah, they're taking some of those crates down there. Don't know what happened, but look at a malfunction situation. But anyhow, getting back to you know, how we the people destroyed our own island because of greed, and we wonder sometimes who's benefiting from the greed, because as a child, you know, many years ago, you could have gone to the bank with $20,000 and now actually get it from. You go to $100 and don't wonder where you get it from. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So these, I suppose these people is keeping their money home. Now, sleeping on it, and they can't go to the bank and they can't cash their check. So they got to be getting what they're getting in an envelope. Who they are now, I don't know. So you're not gonna go there, okay? But really, truly, you need to take a little dry down. Nothing can be done now. Don't get me wrong. Nothing can be done. But to see those buildings that I came on your station and talked about a couple of months ago, and someone was on the morning show talking about the building. And Mr. Glidden, what's wrong with us people, as we call ourselves Caymanians? We just stay in our own little bubble. And when we do pop the bubble and come out, we like, whoa. You know what I mean? And, you know, I believe Jay, he is on the board for planning. And
You mean the minister?
yeah, is he part of?
Well, he wouldn't be on the board, but yeah, they may come under his ministry.
Yeah, not the board. Sorry, not the board, but he comes under his ministry. Yeah, I'm just hoping that he's seeing what's happening on this island. Because some things, we used to just build one floor, and then a condos in hotel was only, the most was 3 floors. And you keep just going up, 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 up.
It's up to 10 in the tourism area.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And every time some will ought to go away and do something and come back, or you can hear, tourism will benefit in tourism, party tourism and blah, blah, blah. But we are not looking in the dark corners to see how this island is being destroyed with so much cars that not even being driven, parked up here and there. People's home yards and roads are full of cars that are renting and has no way to do this. Wow. I know they're looking at income, but then again, planning need to come up and make them know if you're going to rent, you got to make sure your tenants can park in your yard. And if they have a visitor come, they better make sure they got a block, 2 blocks for the visitors to come in and park in these places. I know we all fighting to survive, but then again, we are blocking people on the roads when we got to drive to go here and there. When the fire trucks come out, especially some of these baby roads, these fire trucks don't got to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, example, just some days ago, I'm down on Town Road. Ambulance was trying to get to a house, and because of traffic, the ambulance couldn't get to the house. What the ambulance did? Park and walk to the individual house.
Wow.
Walk. And I saw the other day.
So this is cars that are parked. This is when you say traffic, not moving traffic, but
it mustn't moving traffic.
Okay.
Cars parked by homes and apartments that do have sufficient parking space, and whoever's in charge, planning or whoever, they need to get proper permission and proper parking before they give them the okay to say you're going to rent your rooms or in your house to make sure you got parking space and all that kind of good stuff for your people.
Yeah, that's what happens when people are renting, in a room in their house, that escapes the regulations,
Exactly. And then when you try to, if you're trying to get through, and if someone is there and you can't just squeeze and get through, then the person will look at you and talk too bad. Was that you? And they will probably rent out people. Can you imagine? We are going.
And in some cases like that, the landlord is not going to allow the tenant to even park in the yard. You are not going to park in my yard. Park in the street.
You know what I mean? And all that need to be stopped. The police need to go and just keep giving ticket after ticket until they launch a fine place for these people to park. I know it's about survival here in this island, but some places were not built for survival. It was built for your private owned dwelling and living. You understand? But it's okay if you want to go and do something to rent to survive too. But then again, you make sure that you're doing everything that's right and not to interfere with anyone on the road or next door to you or whatever the case.
Yeah, you shouldn't inconvenience your neighbors, right?
Exactly. I'm gonna let you go, but I want to say that down Moringa Town there where they're gonna put this I don't know what they're gonna build there, but
was an apartment building or something, I think.
I see the apartments or some business going on. I'm not sure what it is, but I know the other government it was refused. And I told someone when it was refused, then it was under the other government. I said, let's say for a couple of more months when the new government said nothing guarantee you they're gonna pass that. Sure enough, they passed it. Sure enough, they could put such a building on that little Walker's Road stretch. But you know what? It is what it is. But I just wish that people would lay down some nights and try to vision this island to see exactly where the heck we are heading and stand up and fight for the island. Because if you as a Caymanian don't care about your country, well, I guess you would stay in your bubble and you don't ever care if your bubble pop. But when your bubble pop and you come out here and you see certain things, you need to keep your mouth shut because then we didn't do anything. We are our own biggest enemy here in this Cayman Island. And I'm a machine of planning and all the capital A of the investors that coming in here and doing what they're doing to the small island and the planning, immigration, and everybody says that is involved. Think it's all fun and dandy. It's one job left for the Caymanians. One job left. But anyhow,
Well,
I don't know. 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 I don't know.
Well, listen, on that note, we got to go to a break.
You do just that.
But thanks for kicking us off here.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye. Good.
We got to take a break. Caller on the line. Hang in there.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
On another place, but do on another story? From Pedro St. James and Fort George to John McLean Drive and Mission House, every corner of Cayman has a story to tell. Visit legendsbehindherlandmarks.ky, explore the interactive map, and discover the people, places, and moments that shaped our islands. Learn something new. Visit somewhere new. Find out where we from. Start your journey today at legendsbehindherlandmarks.ky. Brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage.
Grow your business with Breeze 105.3 FM and Radio Cayman. From spot packages to full campaigns, we've got rates that fit your budget and your goals. Email our sales team today, rcsales@gov.ky. That's rcsales@gov.ky. Let's get your message on air and reach listeners who trust us every day.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Yep, that's what I want to know. What's on your mind? The numbers to call to let me know that are 1-800-534-8255. That is courtesy of Flo. You can also reach the studio on 949-8037, 949-6990, and on WhatsApp 925-3261. Our first caller there was mentioning these towers and people building multi-story buildings, and we allow 10 stories along that West Bay Peninsula tourism corridor there. I know a lot of people don't like that. They think that's spoiling Cayman's outlook. They're building a concrete skyline that sooner or later might look like Collins Avenue and Miami Beach. And interestingly enough, I always remember Warren Connolly, who was a member on executive council back in the day when we didn't have the ministers and so forth. They were just executive council members responsible, and he was responsible for tourism. And I was a kid in Miami, and the news was on, and there was Mr. Warren Connolly of the Cayman Islands talking about tourism in the Cayman Islands. And I guess Cayman at that point was just being discovered as a tourism destination. This was early 1960s, and one of the things he said was that we don't intend to create another Miami Beach. We don't want to go after this mass tourism, and that always stuck in my memory. That he said, our intention is not to create another Miami Beach. We want to keep our own Cayman Island style of tourism, and that was probably the intention back then. But as things go along, and that's what 40, 60 years ago. Things change over that kind of time span, right? And here we are now allowing people to build 10 stories, which is a debatable thing because, while you say, well, you're spoiling the whole island atmosphere, it does allow for, growth to happen while happening on smaller portions of property. Where you would have 10 stories, you would more likely have to spread out if you're going to build something comparable to that, right? You would have to have much more acreage in order to accommodate what a 10-story building could accommodate. But it's what we want. What do we want for our Cayman Islands? And I don't see that being reversed now that it is there, that you can build for 10 stories. And Cayman is growing, and any projection that you look at doesn't seem to indicate any kind of immediate slowing of the growth that we have seen. Even in the last 10 years, we've seen a significant amount of growth, which most places, they experience the kind of growth that we've seen in, let's say, the last 26 years, since 2000. That amount of growth, in 26 years, a lot of people, a lot of places, it may take them 50 years to see that amount of growth. And that is why we have the economy that we have. And, everything has its yin and yang, right? It's good and bad. And you have to take the bad to get the good. Lots of times that's how it is. You got to give up something to get something, right? There's no just free lunch all the time. You get something, you gotta give a little something for it. And those of us who know Cayman from 60, 70 years ago, those days are in the past. But the caller also mentioned that the people down there must not have fought very hard to keep those towers from going up if they didn't like them. But once you're within the zoning laws, the zoning restrictions, if you comply with those, it's hard to stop something. And one of the things that she related to was allowing people to do, what they want, what they want, or at least bending the rules. And I guess we kind of suffered from a mentality that if you offered any kind of resistance or restrictions, if you strictly enforced restrictions, such as the setbacks from the high water mark, you get these all the time. I think even recently we were seeing things in the news about where developers are seeking a waiver so that they can build closer to the water. And I think we had a kind of mindset of, well, if we say no to them, they won't build at all. And, we'll lose that. And I think that kind of thought process is fading away because we see the results of what happens when we allow people to build too close to the water. We lose our beaches, there's property damage, and there really is no reason for us to be fearing that because we say, well, this is the rule and the rule is there for a reason. We're not going to waive, this restriction or this requirement that you have to build a certain distance. There's, and that's the rule. That's the law. So we enforce the law. Well, let's take a call. Good afternoon.
Acquire those apartments that are there.
What's that?
I said if they had had any foresight, they would have purchased the property across from where the Georgetown Hospital is now, instead of leaving it and let these foreign investors build apartments there to rent to get richer and richer and richer. So the only thing I see for them to do now is to see if they can acquire it and put on some medical wards there. We're talking about improving health.
Yeah.
You got a hell of a lot to do to improve that, I can tell you, because you got so many no care people leave on it.
Got so many what? What kind of people?
No care people.
No care
they
people.
Neglecting the patients left, right, and center. I saw that in my 2 eyes in my own family. Badly neglected. You would have expected better out of them. But their day will come. Every dog has their day, and their day will come. Thank you.
All right. Have a good afternoon. And that's something else that's on the table now. Not so much the medical care provided at the Anthony Eden Hospital and I guess HSA facilities in general, but the administration, the governance structure of HSA, and we can talk about that a little later in the show, because that is has brought to light some issues as far as the running the administration of HSA. It's 15 minutes before 1 o'clock. Time for us to take a little break here.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Happy anniversary, Radio Cayman. After 20 years behind your microphone, I'm proud to celebrate this golden milestone with you. Thank you for 50 years of service to our islands. The news, the culture, the Caymanian spirit. Cheers to the next 50. This is Tanya Mitchell.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we do have a caller on the line, so let's go to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
That's me, Cholo.
Yeah, you're on. You're up.
I'm glad you're staying in the cool. It's kind of hot out here.
Oh, is it hot?
And I mean that literal in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Cholo, I hear you talk. I don't know. I just turned on the radio. I just got in my truck.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just wanted to hear something, which I did earlier this morning on OC.
Okay.
Where we call, I think it's Mitchell's Creek, Governor's Sound Cut, where they, they put the boats and stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
I went out there yesterday afternoon, went to the Governor's Sound channel there. And boy, I tell you, over to the right side, that used to be all mangrove, beautiful, protected area that's, And I mean, it looks like, well, the bulldozer's already gone through.
Yeah.
And they got, I can't tell you how much acres of it that is gone. And I don't know how this thing has gotten through. Nobody's heard anything about it or what. Nothing's been here. And like I was speaking to, I put it in the head of the department there earlier. But understandably, she said she couldn't do anything about it. They spoke out against it. But there's not even, I asked if there was even going to be, I think there used to be a 300-foot buffer if you were going to do something.
Yeah, some kind of buffer used to be required.
Yeah. But if that thing has, if they've left 10 feet against the edge of the shoreline on the north sound, maybe even say it was 50 feet. That's plenty. And that is one massive development going in there. I don't know. My understanding is that some guys bought it and is building an 80,000 square foot house. I mean, what
wow.
the hell?
That sounds like a place like if you live in it, you might not even go to some areas of it for a year or two.
Probably. And I was further informed now it's got connected with bridges and waterways through it. And oh, Jesus. I mean, what are we coming to on an island, on our little island? And going into Crystal Harbor, where supposedly that you're going to get through to it, there's 3 massive towers that looks like something, and I know you've been in New York.
Yeah, well, our first caller mentioned 3 towers down that way.
Well, I didn't hear that. But what an abomination! Because that's the only thing you say, an abomination to place into an area like that was supposed to be, I guess it was when the intention was when Rex Crichton did it, that he was going to have homes and stuff in there, which there's a lot of homes.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the Holiday Inn back there.
Yeah, that's the same area she was talking about.
These things look like some sort of a mausoleum or something, and even the color of it is not even suited in the slightest way to the Caribbean. What the hell is our people that are Caymanians that sit on this damn Development Protection Board or whatever you call it, planning board? They ain't got one little bit of common sense for their own country, a little bit of feeling.
But if the people who built those towers, right, are within the zoning restrictions, there's little to be done, isn't there?
Well, I'm not even saying if they give them permission to build it within the zoning restrict stuff that is there. But I mean something like that is nowhere near suited. Put some little bit of architecture, Caribbean style architecture into it, or something that would look like you had done something, you know.
Yeah, the style of the building could probably be dictated.
I don't know who the hell is buying these, but certainly the Caymanian businesses are not getting anything out of it. The other thing is that I just wanted to hear is the fact that, you know, government, I just heard something that we were giving duty concessions again or something. Why in the hell are we giving duty concessions for in this island?
It doesn't seem like we need those to encourage people to build.
I'm a small business that pays government every single week, right? And I'm harassed by government. Literally harassed to beg to even get a job from them. You know, these people walk in, they got the Chinese just here now walking around and collecting business, going off, and everything is off everywhere you turn. Oh, well, we can get it from China. It's cheaper. They go in and they buy everything. There's nothing left here. There's no inward investment from this. None. And this stuff comes in, and government turns a blind eye to it. You know, why in the hell, if they want to tax something and make money, tax these flipping things that are coming off this thing, like how they do in the Bahamas, 6 to 8%. You know, and get money that way. They're talking about going after people with driver's license. That's crap. Absolute crap. None of these people have the balls to understand what's happening to their island and their generation.
Clarify what it is that you said they should tax again. What should they be taxing?
The Chinese importation that it is. The Chinese direct is coming in and going around the island right now, signing contracts with any developer that they can get or any contract on.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people don't know it because they come to work for you today. Tomorrow they go out and they form a company and say they got contractor's license. Right? And you can't, we're going to get all this from China. You're not going to get it. You can't beat the price. You know how much everywhere that you turn an island and that's what they tell you? It is absolutely ridiculous.
So they're trying to get people to do business directly with Chinese companies.
Well, yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah.
I mean, isn't that the same thing as buying materials and stuff straight from the States, though, rather than buying it from a local supplier?
If you buy something from your local supplier, right, that turns over the dollar within the country.
Yeah.
It keeps everybody happy, right?
But I mean, I know people will bypass the local supplier and buy it straight from a supplier in the U.S. also.
Right. But a lot of times buying it from that supplier in the U.S., they're not going to make it because they don't sit down to figure out what's going on, right? And what the situation is with it, what they have to pay and what that cost is going to be, right? And if something happens, they got nowhere to turn. You know, I had a man come in one day and asked me if I could provide him with a sofa. I said, yeah, what would you want? But, you know, so he wanted to replace the one he had bought online and wanted to know if I would sell it for him. I said, what did you say, sir? This is the kind of thing you get, right? This is what's happening to you. But we ain't got nobody because we got nobody that has been in the forefront of the business world. Like I have spent 60 odd years of my life in and understand what the protocols are.
Yeah, I have a personal rule for myself that I don't buy anything electronic from outside. You know, I'm not ordering something like a computer or something and have it shipped to Cayman because it's electronics. All you need is one little disconnection and you're, messed up.
Well, you see see what's happening with that right now. And you better hope it doesn't get loose totally down within it. I guess we don't have as much here for him to get into it, but I don't know how that stuff works because I'm not the electronic technician. But there was a big thing on BBC this morning. There's another hack-in with the AI. And it says AI has got so many, they can get into things within, I think I said it was within 17 hours they had hacked the total, I don't know whether it was 7 or 17, I can't recall.
Was that the case where the AI agents went off on their own and went a hacking?
Yeah, and they're trying to contain it now, but they can't get it contained or something. They got something from China now. They said that's going to try to help to contain it. I don't know how that's supposed to work.
I don't know if we were talking about the same thing, but I know there was a instance where they were testing to see, and it was supposed to be within their own environment, but the AI agents, they went outside and hacked into other companies, and that was because they were able to leave the facility because they were connected to the internet. And you say the AI said, "You want to see if I can hack something? Let me show you."
Yep.
But then they were asking them to hack, so
it hacked another. I think it's another AI thing that they hacked or something. Half a face or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's that's the brave new world.
Yep. And it got inside of it within a matter of hours.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just I don't know, brother. These things are, but I don't know what's happening with our own people that they don't see. I mean, we're losing. This little island's only got so much arable land left of it. So I don't know what the future generations are going to do. But I can tell you what, these ones that we got sitting right now, supposed to be looking after things, they don't care. They don't have the faintest iota. When somebody comes and smile up in their face and and tell them you got to do this is the way we do this, it's gospel for them. And they take it and run.
Well, listen, I got to break in because it's 1 o'clock. But thank you for the call.
You're welcome.
Yeah. It's 1 o'clock. We have to go to the newsroom.
We are Radio Cayman,
covering Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.
1 in a million. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. The Cayman Islands Bankers Association is inviting people to an Agentic AI event on Thursday, August 13th at the Georgetown Yacht Club. In a statement today, SEBA says the discussion will address the future of agentic AI in banking, including opportunities, risks, and adoption considerations. Grant Thornton Cayman and Grant Thornton Risk Advisors USA will present from 5:30 until 8 p.m. Register by emailing seba@sebabankers.org. In international news, the world's oceans recorded their hottest July temperatures, according to the EU's Copernicus Climate Change Service. The service says average sea surface temperatures outside polar regions reached 20.96 degrees Celsius last month. That beat the previous July record of 20.89 degrees Celsius set in 2023. Developing El Niño conditions partly fueled the warming. In other news, a former MP in Thailand has been arrested after allegedly shooting dead a local official and shooting the official's driver in the arm and hand. The BBC says the former MP later called into a YouTube live stream and told a political commentator what he had done. Police then allowed him to hold a press conference where he spoke for more than 6 minutes. The Thai Prime Minister said authorities would be pursuing full legal action. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Your Cayman Islands Health Services Authority has been the national healthcare provider of the Cayman Islands for many generations. We have elevated our level of care to ensure you, our patients, have the best possible experience. We offer better access to care close to home with the most locations on all 3 islands, delivering a full range of primary, secondary, tertiary, and emergency care. HSA is a JCI accredited organization, and we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands. Hinton Roxroy Connolly was born in Creek, Cayman Brac on 9th September 1937. Fondly known as Big H to his family and friends, following a 5-year career at sea, Mr. Hinton returned to Cayman Brac, taking up work with Brac Power and Light Company for 3 years prior to moving to Grand Cayman, where he commenced employment with Cable and Wireless in March 1966. Big H would eventually move back to Cayman Brac, working his way up from a linesman to a supervisor throughout the 29 years of employment with Cable and Wireless, eventually retiring in August 1994. Following his retirement, Mr. Hinton continued to do electrical work for the many people of Cayman Brac. Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
The government is inviting the public to share their views on proposed changes to tobacco and vaping laws. The proposal aims to protect our young people, strengthen vaping rules, and address concerns about disposable vapes. We want to hear from parents, educators, businesses, and the wider community. The consultation opens on the 21st of August. Log on to publicconsultation.gov.ky to help shape the future of tobacco and vaping policy in the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and before I find out what's on your mind, let me give you a little weather update here. Here in Georgetown, it is a hot 90 degrees. Feels like 111 degrees. It's hot. And let's see here. It's winds out of the east-northeast at almost 14 knots. Relative humidity 78%. And taking a look at outward, the synopsis is telling us that we can expect some moisture, because a tropical wave currently located across Jamaica is moving closer to the Cayman area, and the tropical wave will dominate weather patterns well into Tuesday night, allowing for chances of showers and possible thunder. Tonight, we can expect cloudy skies with a 50% chance of overnight showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will fall into the mid 80s. Winds out of the northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be running 3 to 5 feet. Looking at the tides, we have a low tide coming up shortly from now, 1:52, and the high tide is at 8:30 tonight. Sunset is 6:55, and the outlook is for a decrease in the chance of shower activity on Wednesday as the tropical wave moves away from the area and dry air intrudes into the area. And checking in with the National Hurricane Center in Miami, well, we're getting into August here, so things have picked up out in the Atlantic. Two areas of interest for us here in the Cayman Islands. We got tropical disturbance number 1 out there in the Atlantic, has a 60% chance of cyclone formation in 7 days. So that's the most serious one there. It's got sort of a northwest kind of movement mapped out here. And another one coming straight west, disturbance number 2, only a 10% chance of cyclone formation in 7 days. And hopefully El Nino will keep them suppressed into developing into anything rather serious. And then there's another disturbance way up in the North Atlantic there that has nothing to do with us or anybody else. It's even, they call it a subtropical Atlantic disturbance northwest of Bermuda. So way out there, just wandering around in the Atlantic Ocean. Well, do we still have a caller on the line there? A patient person. Good afternoon. You're on the air with That Talk Today.
Hello.
Yes.
You think we'll get some rain?
Well, yeah, get some rain, and that's all we want. Rain, right? Is the rain. We don't want any, heavy winds or surging oceans.
Yeah, man. I tell you, man. We could use a cool off,
Yeah, it's hot out there, man.
Yeah, I tell you. But I heard you spoke of a word this morning, fear, and how much of that we really have in us, that it comes, I don't know where it's coming from.
You're talking about when we would enforce restrictions and such, and fearing that people will not develop, not build, that they'll run away?
Jalo, all my life, all my young life, I struggled with that. And I still feel that feeling of fear, right? And let me tell you, Jalo, when I look back at my young life, Jalo, I lost a lot in life just because of that feeling to try. Understand? Fear. It will make you do anything, man. It will make you kill yourself, man. Trust me. That's dangerous. But really, I don't know, man. We all remember how beautiful it was to drive down 7 Mile and see the sunset. Going up to West Bay in the afternoon, coming for work. Yes, we all remember how beautiful it was. Warren Conley, you only had one of him. Because regardless of his proposals in that time there, it don't seem like anybody came behind him that really defended what he was dealing with. And I guess it all fell apart, just like that.
Well, I mean, even in Jim Bodden's time as member responsible for tourism. I mean, it was always that we wanted quality, not quantity.
Yes.
You know, that was what did Jim Bodden say? We don't want any brown paper bag tourists. You carry your lunch in a brown paper bag, so you don't have to spend any money.
Well, you know, me and him was very close. Yeah, he was like a father to me, Chalo. Trust me. And that sounded like something he would say.
Mm.
He wouldn't deal with anything like that, bro. No. But what I was saying, Chalo, it was only one war in Connolly. And really, even though I grew up in it, but I couldn't see it until I was out there working with those companies and things. I remember somewhere in the 60s, when we were doing Carbatel. The first name was Carbatel. I think it's Harbour Heights now, right on the corner by the public beach.
Oh, yeah.
Good up north. Hadsphaltic, good company to work with, and we're paying you what we can pay you. But that was small money. But it was nothing better. I don't remember anything better for anybody to go to our next job at them times. Yeah. Anyway, one weekend, we planned a strike Monday morning. When the morning come, came on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, we don't mess with that again, you know. because I just tell the boss and say, not going through nothing like that again. We just go ahead and work, man. Yeah.
So you'd wanted an increase in pay?
Yeah. So, you know, I was one of the youngest. So all the young guys over there, you know, we can't go for that, though. We got to follow the elders, you know, because we want more money, too. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So it just fell apart just like that, Chalo. And I don't remember hearing anything about striking again on any job, as many of them that I've been on. Since that, my friend.
Yeah, the union type thing has never caught on in Cayman, right?
Tried it too. All my good friends from North Side, brother from North Side, and them, and they were very into that. But the support that they needed, they never got. Certain people didn't want to see that here.
No, union was like a dirty word in Cayman.
Well, I tell you, boy, Chalo, I really don't know about dirty work then, but I don't know where he is today. I don't know where you can call what going on today. Dirty work, or what you want to call it.
I said a dirty word.
Oh.
To say union was like saying a bad word.
Yeah. Yeah, and dirty work too. Dirty work too. Yeah, man. But you know, today, Chalo, on OC show this morning, I heard a woman calling and talking about there was a time that planning had a committee there, you know, that was very strict on the waterfront and things like that. So they're destroying the waterfront and things like that. And it come down to a point now where they want to start ripping up land, shore now and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I saw there was some controversy over some project wanted to cut into the Iron Shore to make a saltwater swimming pool. It was apparently a huge swimming pool too.
Yeah, like I said to her, see, yeah, the woman, she feels sad. I said, me too, though. I was here to see all that happen, but I never had no money to stop it. This thing is about money.
Isn't it always?
I said it to Cayman. I said it to Cayman many times before. The American investor, when he come in your yard to set himself up, you understand? It got to be his way or no way. He come to change you. So it's either right or you with him or you against him. And I don't think we have anybody that can really go against them in the car. Things are gone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, Jallo. One of the things that fear mankind in life, Jallo, is the truth. That don't get no better in our lifetime, so I can leave you with that, Jallo.
All right. Well, always good to hear from you.
Yeah, man. Time.
You take care. And we got another caller there, so let's take that. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello, are you there? Oops. Lost them into the ether. Yeah. One of the comments that our first caller was there saying that a lot of what happens in Cayman, we have our own selves to blame. And I recall you hear people talk about, well, Dart is buying everything. He's owning, all the property. All the land's being bought up by Dart. But who's selling it? Who's selling the land to Dart, right? During the course of my careers, I remember being in the room with some executives from Dart, and one of them was saying not a day goes by that they don't have an offer from a Caymanian to buy their land. It's like every day some Caymanian is there offering their property for sale to Dart. But yet, we speak in a tone that, this is something that is only one-sided. Like Dart's buying up all the land. But in order for Dart to buy the land, somebody has to sell it. And people make the choice, they want the cash, and they have an asset that is real estate, and they choose to get the cash and give up the land. Maybe they have other pieces of land that they can pass on to their future generations or to keep for themselves. But Caymanians had the land, but we sold it to foreign interest. And you can't really, I guess, blame those that would do that. We don't know what their personal situation is, and it's really none of our business, really, what other people do with their land. It's their private property, and if they want to sell it to make some money, they can sell it. But it's the situation that we find ourselves in this brave new world of Cayman, and that is what we have wrought. Let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yes. Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon, Cayman. You made a statement earlier that Caymanians sell the land.
Mm-hmm.
Our government did a pretty good job of, giving up a lot of land too. we West Bears and a lot of others fought to keep a roads, and now we lost that. And then now the little piece of beach that was there being fenced off again. So it's not always Caymanians per se as individuals. Now you got, our government did a pretty good job of getting rid of a lot of government land that was belonging to Caymanians as a whole. And I don't think that was right what happened. And, I was just, that struck a sort of chord in my heart about Caymanians giving up their land, or selling their land to DART. But our government did some pretty good, horse trading too. So, and we protested about that road. We protested about the bio mosquitoes that seem like they live forever, and all we did was trade in ones that we can slap and kill for these that seem to escape every slap and leave a big old whelp on their skin. So, our government got to step up to the plate and take some blame for what the people are complaining about too. They, government after government did a lot of horse trading and getting rid of vast amount of land, and not just Caymanians that were hurting or Caymanians that felt like they got a great deal and to solve their problem that they had on hand. So that's just all I wanted to say. Y'all have a good, blessed day.
All right, and you'll do so. Do so also. Thanks for the call.
Okay.
And we have another caller there. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk today.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you doing, Charles?
I'm fine, and you?
Good. Just had some thoughts about the land issue you were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, we know that a lot of families that have land are what they call land rich and cash poor, and the cost of living and new families, new generations bring financial stress. So families are increasingly selling off their family land, subdividing it or whatever. And I'm not going to say anything about who's the one single purchaser. We all know that. But the issue that I'm concerned about is if government obviously knows the high cost of living, they know that there's no more land being made. They know that there's a housing crisis that they're trying to tackle right now. And there's an unlimited amount of money globally from China, anywhere else, to purchase Cayman land. Cayman land is like worth more than gold because you can get citizenship from it. You can get all kinds of benefits apart from just the land. And you don't pay 1 cent of tax after you buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to say is just bearing those things in mind, government, I think, should look into reserving some tracts of undeveloped residential land. I think they could look at adding some restrictions in terms of sales conditions, maybe even allow legislation or write legislation to allow land to be leased instead of outright buy sale. And they could restrict visitors to certain areas, for instance, 7 Mile Beach. People want to buy condos and all that, great. But do they have to go into Savannah or West Bay and buy, 50, 60 acres that seals in some major development in the future, or just for speculation? But it prevents locals from obviously building on that property forever. So I'm just saying that we can't say that 1 or 2 investors are buying all the land. We know that government knows the situation. Government knows all the stresses and the land shortage. But there are solutions, and I don't hear anybody talking about the solutions. So what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, one of the things that you mentioned there, and I've heard this raised as far as, you purchase land, a foreigner purchases land, and they pay, the one-time transfer fee, the stamp duty, and that's it. That's all the, income that government receives from that,
right,
until it's sold again. And that might be something to look at. A property tax. I know nobody wants to go into any kind of income tax, but a property tax owned by people who are not resident here, and I'm not talking about people here, that are resident and they're not Caymanians, but resident and they buy land. But you have people buying land and they don't even know where it is. They go through a real estate agent, and that's where they're going to park their money for a while. They know in Cayman it'll probably increase in value, and perhaps that's something to look at as far as a way of gaining revenue. Because like you say, that land is now it's left maybe at Caymanian hands, maybe not, but it'll probably never return to Caymanian hands.
Right.
I mean, you would like to see you would like to see a some kind of property tax on people who are non-resident.
Well, nobody likes the word tax, but visitors who come to live here and value Cayman, most of them know that they're getting a great deal, and more of them are invested enough to even support the island in some other way, whether it's funding, service clubs or scholarships or whatever, because they know they're often making off like bandits, in a good way for them. But we know that there are certain sales taxes or transfer taxes, fees, whatever, when you buy property. So I think we should consider looking at a category of luxury tax. If you can afford to buy a condo for 10, 20 million, you can afford to pay either more upfront or maybe an annual amount. And ideally, I'd like to see it, something like that, dedicated to a specific goal or objective, like scholarships or healthcare or something, instead of just, dump everything into government coffers and then it sort of get mixed in with everything else. But regardless, I think people who have that much wealth are comfortable at adding a few more dollars to the local economy if we ask for it nicely. Not to dump property taxes on everyone, but if the property is valued $5 million, $1 million, whatever is the benchmark and over, then I think people would not mind paying a little bit of tax. I mean, somebody has to pay for the roads and the hospitals and everything else, and the airport, and all the things that we know are overdue for, well, in some areas, for renovation or expansion because of the population growth. So I think we need to ask, and, that's not a good thing politically maybe, but this is better now than a year from now when it's closer to election time.
But especially when buying a condo is one thing, but just like you say, buying up mass acreage of land and not even developing it, it just sits there, locked into that person's, assets. Maybe paying some kind of annual, fee, if you don't want to call it. If you don't want to call it a tax.
Exactly.
Call it a fee.
But there's so many existing opportunities that we are not taking advantage of. Every major subdivision is supposed to have a lot reserved for LPP or land for public purposes, or like a park or something like that. In the district in which I reside, I know of no such park in any subdivision in any section of that district that anybody, I'm talking about the private subdevelopments that are supposed to do this, where people can go and sit under a tree or take their kids and look at birds or whatever. What the developers usually do is they reserve the worst piece of land that's flooded or rocky or whatever, and they said, oh yeah, that piece is for the public. They never even level it or pave it or plant some flowers or whatever on it.
Or clear it.
Just a raw piece of, so there's just a raw random piece of land, and they think, okay, I've done my part. And I think that's still the case, that nobody's really pushing them to say, no, you need to make it nice for the residents of the area, not just leave, some little corner lot in the back of your development. So there are even opportunities like that people can give back from what they're reaping from the community. But again, if you don't ask, you won't get it.
Ask and you shall receive. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things in my district. I live in West Bay. I mean, the West Bay school, John Cumber School, and the playing field and the track there that's used every day, every night. There's not even a restroom block there. There's not even a water fountain and all this heat. Imagine the kids going back to school in a couple of weeks, outside around that track doing sports and playing lunchtime or whatever, or people walking that track after work exercising. Not even a restroom block or
some water
or water fountains.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I'm not saying government. I'm saying that the development should be used to benefit us in ways like this that are almost
the community that they are building there.
Right. It should go without speaking. It should go without even mentioning it. Okay, yeah, that's a done deal. We'll build in addition for approving this big project. We'll build set of restrooms and some water fountains at the West Bay. No problem.
Well, listen, I got to take a break.
Take care, man. All the best.
All right. Thanks for the call. Got to take a break. Be right back. So caller on the line, just hang in there for me. We'll be right with you.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
On another place, but do on another story. From Pedro St. James and Fort George to John McLean Drive and Mission House, every corner of Cayman has a story to tell. Visit legendsbehindherlandmarks.ky, explore the interactive map, and discover the people, places, and moments that shaped our islands. Learn something new. Visit somewhere new. Find out where we from. Start your journey today at legendsbehindherlandmarks.ky. Brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage.
Think vaping is just a cloud? Think again. Vaping is affecting young people across the Cayman Islands, and now you have a chance to be part of the conversation. The Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability is asking young people to share their views on proposed changes to tobacco and vaping laws. Learn about the proposals and make your voice heard, because the choices we make today help shape the Cayman Islands we live in tomorrow. Log on to publicconsultation.gov.ky. The consultation opens on the 21st of August.
Hello, this is Roy Tatum, your Member of Parliament for Red Bay. Congratulations to Radio Cayman on 50 remarkable years. For half a century, Radio Cayman has been more than a radio station. It has been the voice of our people, the heartbeat of these islands, present through every storm and every celebration and every chapter of our story as Caymanians. A special thank you to every staff member, past and present, whose dedication and passion built this legacy we treasure so deeply. On behalf of the people of the constituency of Red Bay, I thank you, Radio Cayman, and may your signal carry us proudly into the next 50 years. God bless.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moderator. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Oh,
I'm not fine, but I'm okay.
So what's on your mind this afternoon?
Just a couple of callers before they was talking about the land proposition of selling and buying land in Ireland. It is a regular tune that goes on about if Caymanians didn't sell the land, Dart couldn't buy it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get something straight about that now.
Okay.
When myself, the late Cardinal da Costa, Jones Wells, John Burns Wells, Arden McLean, Mr. Ezed Miller, when we were protesting about the closing of the Westway Road, you had big merchants, Caymanians as well, yes, Caymanians, and also big builders, Caymanians, yes, who made the comment like, I don't know what they're waiting for. I don't know why they can't get this thing over so the road can be closed. That is our own Caymanian saying that. Now, stick a pin. Let's look at the situation since the old Westway Road has been closed. If you take off from Morgan's Harbor going on the highway, when you get to Yacht Club roundabout,
right,
one of the biggest problems that we're going to have are like a disaster. All of those new condos or whatever they got on the Northwest Point Road, sooner or later they're going to be occupied.
Mm-hmm.
Then when they come from the old Westway Road going on to get to the bridge, they have the right of way because you have to give the people on the right the chance to proceed.
Yeah.
I've been seeing almost from Morgan's Harbor Road where you enter the Means Highway, there was such a line of cars the other day that it was so frustrating. And I'm sure people were commenting about why they closed the Westway Road. That is not the regular man or the little old stupid people, if you want to call them, who selling the land at art. That was a big official that made that decision. And some of the comments that our merchant made about this land should have been sold or should have been closed so Mr. Dart could get on to what they had to get on with. That is so disheartening in our island to see what's happening here. I can guarantee you it's going to be sooner than later we're going to have a lot of problems, specifically with traffic. It's coming like hand over fist, and all I can hear is about if Caymania didn't sell the land. Let's take other countries like Brazil, where these big developers went in and bought probably miles, not acres, miles of land. And the government of Brazil said, hold on now, just a minute now. You want to make a timber factory, you want to have a lumber yard out of our forest. The game is over. Some of the other people went in, bought all the equipment, the heavy equipment, some of the big lumber yards, and you know what they turned them into now? One of the biggest orange groves in the world. Brazil is exporting more citrus, juice, and vegetables than probably any other country in the world. Cayman is not that size, but it is so disheartening to see that we don't have an image that comes from leadership can say, call some shots and say, regardless of who you are, this is the position of the Cayman Islands, and this is what you will do and what you can't do. But because of money, that's the name of the game, my friend. And I'm not here to preach doom and gloom, but some perilous times I see ahead of the Cayman Islands coming now, and we don't have anything to look forward to except something not so encouraging. I hope what I said will be taken in the context that it was meant to be. So I want you to have a good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. You have a good afternoon also. Good to hear from you. And we have another caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Charlie. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Yourself?
Not doing too bad, giving thanks. I've been on a while, so I listened to quite a few callers and comments. And
Thanks for your patience.
I think, no worries, and I think it's all interesting. It was a caller, maybe it was 2 or 3 callers earlier, and a gentleman mentioned something about, purchasing land in certain areas and different things. I thought that was a very interesting point. In fact, that's a very good point. But one thing I would just like to, share and express is that when you look at the persons who are selling large tracts of land in Cayman, right? It's not a person who bought one lot and decided they're going to flip it and sell it to whomever, right? We know our organization is probably one of the largest land purchasers in Cayman, or one of the largest landowners in Cayman.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But
I've heard of some big names from the U.S. buying up acreage also.
Of course, and it's across the board. It's not just him. The problem is that he's just present, and he has a lot of development that is tangible and you can see every day. So, he's kind of on the forefront of everybody's mind. But truth be told, is when you look at the persons who are actually selling the property, these are generational Caymanians who inherited large tracts of land.
Yeah.
Who's selling this property? It's not the average Caymanian. And what happened as a result of that is that these properties are normally in areas that are affordable, but if they're not subdividing them, filling them in, and selling lots, which increases the cost, then you have big developers and big pocket people who buy large tracts, and then they'll put something like Camana Bay around it. Because I remember the days when we used to ride through that back road. That was a dike road. Nobody thought that land was worth anything. But you look at the size development and the type of development, it's top notch. It's one thing you got to take your hat off with Dart.
Oh, yeah.
They do very good development, well thought out. But when you look at all of the property now around that they may not own, has quadrupled in price. So as a result, the average person would never be able to afford to buy property in that area. So it's not only the fact that they're buying up large tracts of land, they're also increasing the value of other land around those large tracts that the average person can't afford. So it's a double shot you get from that, right? And then,
of course, the people who own that land is not complaining, right?
Well, they're not complaining before they sold it either, because they had large tracts of land, they had a lot of equity. They could, because let's just be honest, greed pushes a lot of things in Cayman, and that's
everywhere,
the bottom line, right? But I don't live everywhere. I live here, so I only refer to Cayman.
I hear
you. At the end of the day, when we look at some of the indictments that our own government put us in, let's just look at the links of Safe Haven and where the Ritz-Carlton and the yacht, the golf club and all of that, large tracts of land behind Salt Creek and along that whole Badabanu corridor, right? These were all leasehold lands. These were all leasehold properties that now somehow miraculously become freehold, and the owners of it is who? The same persons which we're talking about. They conswabbled our government into making these backdoor deals about, we're going to build you a road if you give us the opportunity to get this land, freehold. Now we've given, and I think I can remember correctly, I think it was like $14.5 million for all of the links of Safe Haven and all that property behind the Ritz, all along that bypass is what we turned over in that 4 Cayman Alliance deal. And I can tell you there was no 4 Cayman anywhere in that deal. I can tell you that. Now that you look at what's taking place. And then, of course, you had the old Lime Tree Bay right there on the corner by Carshulas. That used to all be leasehold land. Now, all of a sudden, miraculously, it's freehold, and the people who own the leases now own the property. There's no more lease on it, right? When the lease expires, those people get that land, and that's the end of it. So when we look at what has taken place, our own government is culprits in this whole land swabble that we've gone through over the past 50 years. And it's unfortunate. We got some ex-politicians who may be laid to rest now, who've also had hands in the cadastral surveys and all of the lands. Listen, sometimes you see some politicians sold land, you didn't even know they had land in that area, right? Because people don't have the time to go down to the land registry and see who owned land and where they own it. Now,
And we didn't always have the register of interest either.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden, you see generations later, everybody filter rich off of properties in which was a teen, God knows how. And, we just, they say that we shoot ourselves in the foot. Let me tell you something. We didn't shoot ourselves in the foot. We shot ourselves in the head because there's a fleeting idea of Caymanians being participants in the future of Cayman. I can tell you that right now. And that caller, like I was mentioning earlier, he made some very good points. And I wish I could have listened to him all day because he was making very good points in regards to, certain things. And the problem is that, Chalo, if we want to generate revenue to take care of our people, right, tell me for the life of me why we don't have a sovereign wealth fund in place that extracts a certain percentage of all of the financial service industry activity that goes on in our jurisdiction. We boast being top 5 financial center in the world. We manage over $13 trillion annually in the Cayman Islands, and yet we see $0 that goes into social programs. Yeah, you got these firms who have these galas every year, tapping themselves on the shoulder about scholarship this and all this other foolishness. But we need to have a structured wealth fund, sovereign wealth fund in place that says, okay, out of that $13.5 trillion, about 25% of that, hypothetically, is what being charged in the fees and management. Well, we need 5% of that, of the fees that is already being charged, so that the customer and the persons who own these accounts don't have no effect. It's money that comes out of what's already being charged that goes into a sovereign wealth fund so that we can take care of social welfare. We can take care of our people. We can pay for health care. We can pay for education. We can pay for housing. We can pay for all these things because Cayman is not a big place. If we got 20,000 Caymanians right now, generationally, we got plenty, and I'm being generous. So you telling me a country that manages $13 to $14 trillion a year don't have any structure in place to take care of their people while managing all of these affairs all over the globe and having all these people come here. They talk about who we're developing for. Okay. All of the development that's in Cayman Islands right now that is currently ongoing or pending for groundbreaking, go and find me one single solitary unit that's under $500,000. And when you find that unit, right, you're going to find that it's not in the areas in which we are thinking about. We're not developing for Cayman.
Even just an ordinary middle-class home now is, you're talking about $500,000.
So we're not developing for Caymanians. Let's just get that out of the way. We're developing for the new people who are going to come in and enjoy the financial wealth that is being generated right here on our shores, that all we charge is annual fees and work permit fees and licensing fees and all this foolishness that we're doing, right? Sovereign wealth fund need to be put in place on every institution in these islands. And I don't want to hear this thing about, well, if you do that, you're going to run the business away. Let me tell you something. They ain't going nowhere else in the world and find a laid-back, smile and wave environment like they got in Cayman. Trust me, they're not going nowhere. And if they do decide to leave, you got 100 million people lined up behind them waiting to take their place. So we need to be strong, we need to be focused, and we need to do what's right. We don't have the political willpower to do what's right for our people because it doesn't smell or spell or result in political mileage to be reelected.
Yeah, again, it's back to, being afraid that they're going to run away.
Yeah, and that's the scaremongering tactic that they have inbred in our DNA to make us think that that's the reality. But that's not the reality. How many times things has changed? Okay, COVID is, for example.
Real quick, because I'm 5 minutes over my break.
All right, well, yeah. COVID is a prime example that we are willing to do things out of the ordinary, and we get used to it. So sovereign wealth fund, government need to put that in place.
Yeah, I like the idea of a sovereign wealth fund. That's,
yeah.
A lot of places have that. All right, thanks for the call. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Got to take a break. Be right back.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Housing in the Cayman Islands affects families, renters, first-time buyers, seniors, and vulnerable residents. The Cayman Islands Public and Affordable Housing Policy and 10-year strategic plan provide a coordinated framework to improve housing access, increase supply, and guide phased implementation over time. Public presentations are being developed and will provide opportunities for the community to learn more about the policy and plan. Learn more and get the facts at gov.ky/housing plan. A message from the Ministry of Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing, and Infrastructure.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we're freestyling here on Talk Today on a hot, lazy Monday in August to start off our week here. And big earthquake down in Colombia today. We've had some major shakers around the region. Venezuela, they had two big ones in the same day, magnitude 7.2, and then an even stronger one, 7.5. That was back in June. And Mexico had one in July, magnitude 7.3, and now Colombia had a quake this morning of 7.4. So major damage there, and I think the last death toll that I had, they were approaching like 50 people having been killed in that quake in Colombia. And of course, we even had one in our neighborhood, a magnitude 4.5 quake south of Grand Cayman, just back on the 28th of July. So the hurricanes may be suppressed, but hey, the region is shaken from earthquakes, right? And who knows, the hurricane season might be picking up now that we're into August. As we get into latter part of August, we get into the peak. So we'll see what kind of job El Nino can do during the peak season here. But there are some areas of disturbed weather out in the Atlantic there. One more serious than the other two. But we'll see how things go as we move further into August, because this is the time for our region to start getting some action. But hopefully things will stay relatively quiet, even if we do get a tropical storm or so. But just keep your fingers crossed. Well, I see that Elon Musk, now that he's conquered Earth, at least in terms of becoming the Earth's richest resident. He's off to conquer the moon. Yep, I'm not joking. Elon Musk says he's going to build factories on the moon, and he is not he's not playing here. He has announced this, and it's even in the SpaceX filings. They have been, because SpaceX is now a public company, and they got to do all these filings with the government as far as what they're going to be doing, and that's all part of the plan to build factories on the moon. And according to Musk, the plan calls for SpaceX building a mass accelerator after shipping the necessary components to the moon via SpaceX, Starship rockets, and he will then manufacture at these moon factories what they call compute satellites. Compute satellites at a scale on the moon in a way in which the Earth-based factories could never sustain. And after getting things all set up and colonizing the moon, well, it'll be colonized, I guess, by robots, because the robots won't need any oxygen or anything like that, right? They won't need any food, water. After he conquers the moon, it's on to Mars, where that's the real expansion. The moon's just for factories, but he aims to build a human colony on Mars of 1 million inhabitants. And in announcing this, in the middle of the whole thing, Elon Musk himself actually said, I know this sounds totally nuts, but that's the ordinary people. Elon Musk is not ordinary. He's got that, little Asperger, autism kind of little thing there. He sees things much differently than us ordinary human beings. But that's where he sees the future. And he's probably right. In the future, people will be living on Mars, and they'll be living probably in a city called, Muskville or something like that, right? Or they'll have two cities. One is Ellen and the other is Musk. Yeah, he's going to take us all into space, or at least some of us, or maybe our grandchildren. It's 2:00. Let's see what's making news.
Since 1976.
Covering Grand Cayman, no Cayman, and right. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. The Cayman Islands Centre for Business Development will host a lunch and learn on financial record keeping for small business owners on Wednesday, August 27th. In a recent post, presenter Raina Rankin-Grant says the noon session will cover why knowing business numbers matters, essential records, simple ways to stay organized, and how records can support better decisions and business growth. Grant is founder of The Bottom Line, a bookkeeping and advisory firm. Lunch will be provided. CICBD says space is limited and invites people to register through its website. In international news, the yen has given up roughly half of its gains after a joint intervention by the United States and Japan. The Financial Times says the yen rose from around 164 to almost 155 against the dollar in late July, before falling back to 159 today. In other news, a U.S. appeals court has allowed more than 3,000 lawsuits to proceed against Meta and other social media companies over claims their products are addictive to young users. Reuters reports the Ninth Circuit rejected an appeal by Meta, Google, TikTok, and others, finding it came too early in the litigation. The companies sought Section 230 protection. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and let's get a weather update here. Oh, it's actually cooled off a little bit by about 4 degrees. Here in Georgetown, it's 86 degrees, and it feels like 104. I think we're getting some rain here in Georgetown. And let's see here. Winds coming out of the east at a little over 8 knots. Relative humidity 88%. And taking a look at the forecast here, the synopsis says we have a tropical wave moving our way. It's currently located across Jamaica, and we're going to be getting increased moisture as it moves closer to our area. So tonight we can expect cloudy skies with a 50% chance of overnight showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Winds will be out of the northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas running at 3 to 5 feet. And that's currently low tide. Next high will be at 8:30 this evening. Sunset at 6:55. And the outlook is for a decrease in the chance of shower activity on Wednesday as the tropical wave moves away from our area and dry air intrudes. I love some of the terminology that these forecasters use. Dry air will intrude. Well, we have been talking about this and that this afternoon. Land has come up as a subject, the ownership of land and what we can do with land. Numbers to call if you want to talk about something that's on your mind. 1-800-534-8255. That's courtesy of Flo. You can also reach the studio on 949-8037, 949-6990, or on WhatsApp 925-3261. You can give me a ring and we can talk about just about anything that you want to talk about, right? Let's see here. Let's check the good old WhatsApp here. And let's see. Good afternoon, Mr. Glidden. That recent caller had some great suggestions and ideas. Hope the government was listening and reach out to him. Also, I think government needs to do more education and provide options for Caymanians on the benefits of retaining their property. There is a lot of cases where a Caymanian family member dies and leaves the land to their children, and these children sell the land off. That's another message here from one of our listeners, frequent listener actually. She went back to my comment about Mr. Jim Budden. He said, yeah, Mr. Jim said we didn't want or need the peanut butter and jelly sandwich type tourist. Quality, not quantity. I so agree about a sovereign wealth fund. Our various governments should have created such donkey years ago. Get it done now, even though it's decades late. I wonder if any of our financial secretaries ever created such a document to be seriously investigated and considered by our various governments and ministers. Yeah, that's something that we should really be looking into, a sovereign wealth fund. We do have a caller on the line, so let's go to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Charles.
Yes, how you doing?
Good man, good man. It's topic I was listening to about this land stuff and thing people talking about, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man, I think about 2 weeks ago, you read out something about a comparison of what they can do here, like what America did with the Indians. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I say that to say this. We are a minority. Caymanians are a minority in our own island, right?
Yep.
So the major footprint that is making here is not from us then, right?
True.
We're outnumbered more than, okay, if they say right now, they say the stats is about 90-something thousand people living here, residing.
Yeah, it's over 90 now.
Okay, and how many Caymanians do you say we have? About almost 20,000?
I can't give you a really certain answer right now.
Well, when I researched, that's about 20,000 Caymanians, and not all of them is by birth either, you know? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I believe the government need to put something in place that, something like an Aboriginal law or something like what the Indians got, where we don't have these high prices to pay to live here, where people come and make, like you gave a good analogy of the piece of property where Cayman Bay is there. It was worth $1 first. Now the properties around it worth millions because the development.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the one who had the eye on the land that was close to it, that it was affordable, now it's out of your hands. What do? They can't get it again, right? It's gone. It's like on Gorin Avenue, they built this what we call GT1.
Yeah.
That I don't know why they would build a structure like that in that area. I know it's in the middle of the town, but why there? Do you see the houses that right beside on Gorin Avenue?
Oh yeah, I know the area.
So basically, it makes either the building that they constructed the eyesore or the building that was there centuries before the eyesore. So which one is the eyesore? So it's like the planning department are thinking about these things, because guess what? That property owner now, who lives beside them, his value just went sky high.
Yeah, I mean, he could probably sell that and put his feet up.
Okay. No, well, we're not talking about selling now. Okay, now. So that went sky high. So you know what happened to him now? The insurance can look at it as what the value as it's supposed to be, and they can charge him on that basis, right?
Well,
and he
there's a difference between replacement value and market value when it comes to insurance. The insurance really doesn't care about the market value as such as it's the replacement. What would it cost to replace the structure on that land?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's my mix then. But I just thought that he would have to pay a penalty
for somebody developing that kind of superstructure beside him, and it made his value go 3-4 times.
His market value certainly went up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. But what I'm saying is, we need to put something in place for Caymanians. Like it's I heard you say something about property tax, and everybody afraid of this tax word. Well, everywhere in the world has taxes. Even here have taxes, but we had them on a different guises. Just like slavery is still around, but have different words for it. Different labels, because it sounds niche. It's less vulgar. People will be more able to comply with what's going on. But
we call it duty.
I believe that
stamp duty.
All foreigners, even my parents, when they came here, they were foreigners, but they made them Caymanians. But all foreigners, I believe that they should pay something to our infrastructure here. You know, not this one-time payment. You come in, you pay, and that's it. That's not benefiting us after they leave. That's why we have a Mount Trashmore that's keep on building. That's nothing. Nobody going to do nothing about it. They're playing a political football until something devastating happens. You know what I mean? So we need something to fix our infrastructures, the road. Instead of they raising revenues and raising certain, well, I can call it like it is, raising taxes in a way that I have to pay because I live here. Yeah? My kids live here, so they have to pay that tax too. The foreigner who lives in Timbuktu, but he has a land here that he bought through a realtor, that he paid his one-time due there, his tax.
Yeah.
What is he contributing to my society? Nothing. Not one penny, but he got the property there that won't be developed for the next 60, 70 years, and he stopped everything around it, you know? So we
no contribution otherwise.
Exactly. We need to look forward in this thing now and know. Cayman is only 76 square miles. It's not a rubber band. It ain't stretching. Nobody won't build in the water. So we need to find something that we can protect Caymanians, because I would love for my grandkids to have kids and they live here. Yeah, my grandkids.
Yeah, I think that property tax on people who don't live here but own, acreage is something that we might want to look at.
I ain't even talking owning acreage from your own property here.
You mean like a condo?
Yeah. Condo, home, whatever it is. I believe because you're taking from me basically, and you're trying to where you like you're getting like a set but not a setback. I keep on forgetting the word, but I'm lost for words for what I'm trying to say. But like we need something to fix our infrastructure other than us keep on raising revenues or raising the taxes on the people here. Because Cayman is already the second highest place to live in the whole world, not the Caribbean, the whole world per capita. So we need something to help us as basically if the bank charging 1% for interest rate, we should be charged 0.5% as a Caymanian. That's my belief. Even Cuba does something like that. Cuba has this thing where you have two currencies. You have a CUC, which the foreigner would spend, and you have the peso, which the locals spend.
Mm-hmm.
It is 24 pesos make one CUC.
But of course, in Cuba, the government is controlling everything, right?
Nice, no, but it's not nice, no. But I'm just showing you a point where they protect their people, even as they want to say it's communist. They protect their people. Because if I pay in if I go and buy a beer and it costs me 1 CUC, the local buys that same beer for 50 cents. You get me?
Yeah.
So when I buy in property, the property might cost me, as a foreigner, it might cost me $10. The locals shouldn't be paying that same $10. I don't believe that, especially when they're a minority, upper minority, because we're outnumbered more than 5 to 1, doing by the math. So we need some kind of protection for us because, listen, Cayman had no revolt, no rebellions, no nothing. So we don't know about the wars and all that. Everywhere else in the world, they had wars and Vikings and Sikhs, everybody fighting for different things. They have empires. We don't have nothing like that. We are passive people. So the next couple of years from now, our draconian laws, they're going to find the loopholes in that, and they're going to just conquer us the same way, and what will we have left to give to our future? We now are okay, but what happens to like I said, I have a grandchild, one's 3 years old, and one is almost a year old. That's my grandchildren. I would like my grandchildren to grow up here and have grandkids. I can afford something here. But as the way it looked, they had joined Elon Musk and try to get one of those shuttles to Mars. It might be cheaper up there than living in Cayman Islands. No, but
Yeah.
serious, I look at land around here. I went to a land viewing the other day, just up in Beach Bay. I won't call where the exact location was, but they have some small properties in there. They're like 11,000 and 12,000 square feet. And you need a lot of fill because it's a lot of rock and it's low.
Mhm.
So you have to, whatever you pay for it, you're going to pay at least the next $40,000-$50,000 to get that.
For a house lot.
And the house lots are like $224,000, $218,000, $247,000.
Yeah.
And you tell me now, which local or which person in Cayman Islands at the minimum wage, because I have to use this, because they call it a livable wage, the $8.75, which one of them would qualify to the bank, any institutional bank, to qualify for one of those loans?
Yeah, well, somebody making minimum wage is not going to qualify for a house.
That's what I'm saying.
Even
Livable
a
wage
small
is
condo. And I mean, that's the facts of life in any society you go to.
I understand that.
There's
but
going to
then
be
what
that
kind of
group
home,
of people who are not going to be homeowners.
100%. Not everybody. But do you know it's only 1% of the whole world that own their own house or live in a house?
1%?
1% of the 8 billion people.
Mm.
Well, that's what Google say.
Okay.
Yeah, 1% of the world. That means, say, most people live as either homeless or they live in apartments.
Yeah, they rent.
Rental, yeah. But to own your own home, no, only 1% of 8 billion people. And that's sad when you think about it. You know what I mean? But not everybody could own a home. I guarantee that.
Yeah, that's the reality of life.
That's the reality. But for the prices here, no, we could do way better.
You see, the one thing about you're saying that Caymanians pay a discounted price on things, right? Or, we pay less interest rates.
Uh-huh.
That the thing is, we're in a free enterprise society, and that's not how Cuba is.
No. I wasn't doing no analysis with Cuba. I'm just showing you one point of what Cuba do for their people. I would never compare Cuba to Cayman. That's
right.
Chalk and cheese. Total different places, total different.
But those kind of things of us paying Caymanians having, paying less for something that gets in our present economic system of a free enterprise, that gets awfully complicated, and it goes against the whole grain of a free market.
Well, not really, because look at taxes, right? Taxes, the big man pay for the small man. Isn't that so? Isn't that how taxes work?
Who
make more pay?
I think it's the opposite.
No,
I think the small people pay more taxes.
No, in Cayman it's opposite. In Cayman, you will have $1 billion house and I have $100 house. We pay the same, whatever we pay every year.
Yeah, you don't pay any taxes at all. I mean, originally when they bought the land, had some stamp duty to pay.
Yeah.
And that's it.
This is what I'm saying, and that's one-time deal.
Yeah.
Well, like I saying, I went around the world and I come back around. We need some kind of something instilled or installed in our government for benefits to Caymanians. Yeah, that is the whole point of it.
Mm-hmm.
Something to help us here when we are the minority, and it's getting less and less every day. Yeah. So something have to be done. That's why that's why in Australia you had an Aborigine right. You have certain things put in place for them that they get certain free ways and they pay less for certain things. In America, the Indians but that's a different kind of thing. But here we need something like that now because we are the minority of a minority here. Yeah, and we're getting squeezed out daily. Yeah, look at how much our public beach access has been locked off, and not by Caymanians. Yeah, and they feel like they can do what they want to do. So I feel like we'd have to put some clause in place to protect us as Caymanians. Like I said again, I would love my grandkids to have grandkids to live here. I don't want them running away from here to live somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we all want. I mean, and even right now, as we speak, we have young Caymanians who are choosing to, go to the UK.
Yeah, live. Well, Cayman not for everybody because, like as I say, if I look around and I say, hey, what? I have a friend that left here out of school with me. He lives in Thailand.
Thailand.
He says, yeah, this is a Caymanian lives in Thailand. Yeah. He lives in a nice gated community area. He doesn't work over there. He does classes. He teaches these classes.
Yeah.
Like a martial art kind of class. I forget what style it is, but he teaches that over there.
Mm-hmm.
And he says for $500 US a month, takes care of everything for him, and he has a savings out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know people.
$500 US, that might be a day here.
I have a cousin who retired to Panama because it was much more feasible to retire in Panama than to retire in Cayman.
Well, I had a lot of wealthy people look at me and say, boy, I would be a fool if I think I can retire here. Well, I got to be that fool. Yeah, man. I see something is wrong with everybody leaving because they say it's expensive, but at the same time, I see more coming than we're leaving. So why would I leave?
Must be something good.
Yeah, 100 and something different nationalities living in 76 square miles without any civil unrest. Come on, there's not a place in the world like Cayman Islands. And they keep on talking like if we do certain things, they're going to run up, they pick up and they're going to leave. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Cayman is a brand on its own, and we need to learn to respect it. We feel like if we say we're going to start a property tax or something on people, they're going to say, we're not coming back, Cayman. They're going to come. They're going to come. And they ain't going to stop coming. But you can't put Cayman nowhere else in this world. Yeah.
And you can't find in a place like us, right?
There will never be a next place like Cayman. Cayman is Cayman. Cayman is a brand in its own. A lot of people want to say, like, if we do certain things, they're going to run. No. Cayman is a tranquil place. It's a beautiful place to live and raise kids and to try to have a future. It's very expensive, but it's a beautiful place.
It is indeed. I mean, in so many aspects, we're blessed to be living in Cayman.
If somebody offered me $1 billion to leave Cayman, I tell them, say, boy, that's when I'll have to forfeit and pass on. And that's being real. Yeah, this is where my heart is, my soul, my everything. Yeah, and I'm a first generational Caymanian. Yeah, my parents, my grandparents, not from here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up here 50 years now, and this is the only home I know.
And where did your people originally come from?
They're from Jamaica.
Okay. So many people in Cayman have Jamaican roots too.
Yeah, well, my grandfather, almost every Cayman have Jamaican roots. Unless there would be pure incest around here. This is what they need to know. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to get into that part. But yeah, my grandfather was was the first shoemaker here. He took him out of Wampas. Yeah.
All right.
So, I go far back in this island, so I have to fight for what's here, and I have grandkids here. Yeah? And I want them to never want to leave this island. Never, never. Because it's a beautiful place. Don't let nobody tell you about it's too expensive or it's boring. And no, you have to treasure this. This is the treasure.
In many instances, boring is good.
It's great
because you don't have the conflict that so many other places have. You don't have the drama that other people are going through on a daily basis in other places.
If we don't fix certain things, that's coming. That's coming.
Well,
because
yeah.
we don't even know who we have here, because I know of a fingerprint scanner that we paid over $100 and something thousand for that just killed it. It never put in use. Do you know of that scanner that they have in that they had in the airport?
Oh, the X-ray type thing?
No, the fingerprint scanner to know.
Oh,
like when you go to the States, you put your fingerprint.
Right.
Cayman Island government back in about 15 or 18 years ago, whoever the government at that time was, they bought one and it was never put to use. Never put to use, and it's no use now. So why are we scared of who we check to know who is here? Something's wrong. I would like to know who is here. Even remember back in the day in the papers, just anybody who getting residency, they used to put their picture in there.
Yeah.
Why are we hiding it now?
Well, listen, I got a caller on the line. I got about less than 4 minutes to go, so let me see if I can get him in here.
You have a good one, man.
All right. Take care. Let's take this call. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello, are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Charlo, good afternoon. Barry here.
Yes.
Yeah. I said a lot of things that caller did touched on made a lot of sense. And to my surprise, I mean, I haven't been listening to a lot of the talk shows lately because I think, but to my surprise, a lot of Caymanians don't call in as much to grieve these concerns. And like I said, I could be wrong in saying that because of lately I don't listen to too much stuff like that. But a lot of what the caller said does make a lot of sense, and I think we need to be of concern. There's nowhere in the world people can justify the cost of some of the real estate in these places. I think one of the biggest mistakes we made was during COVID, and that may have had some pluses, but I think it had a lot of negatives. And when we allowed so many people to come in, I think it was over 20-something thousand people that came in because we were supposedly a safer place. And, of course, when these people come in, they're going to see the value or see the advantage of having land in these islands.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, then there's going to be a big explosion in selling land. I also believe, too, that there was times when people would perhaps sell their land let's say 25,000, 30,000 a lot, and someone would convince them, well, you can get 45 for that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if that happened, that has a domino effect. And then the other guy going to say, well, wait a minute now, I'm not going to sell mine for 35. You're getting 45 next door to me. And, I think you have a lot of inflation that's really not it's not justified. I have one suggestion. I don't know how most people may take it, but I think when it comes to a lot of the Crown land, instead of waiting in the future for politicians to lease it away to their friends for $1 a year, which we know doesn't really happen for no $1 a year. That's another day's discussion. Why don't we take some of that Crown land and subdivide it and sell it to genuine local Caymanians with conditions that it can't be sold, it has to be passed on to their children, and even to them can't sell it. Because we're going to have to do something drastic like that. Because, this place is not becoming. This place is going to be, it's going to be like trying to buy land in one of those highfalutin states.
Well, in Hawaii, you had a similar situation where the local Hawaiians were priced out of the market. And it's all because, people from outside of Hawaii came there and bought up land, and the prices just kept going up until they were unreachable for the average Hawaiian. But listen, we're out of time here, but I certainly appreciate your comments. Thank you for joining into the conversation. That's it for our talk today. Got to be going. I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul.
Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
Talk Today is brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered. Visit Cineco.ky for your quote today.